Hello everyone, I am Buck WSR Weezer, and I'm coming at you today with a repair project on this John Deere GX75. This is an early 90s, probably a 1992 simple homeowner lawnmower rider by John Deere. Has a Kawasaki single cylinder 9 horsepower engine. So I got this running and just going to be doing some overall maintenance to get it in shape for the season. Got it running yesterday or the day before it was, and it runs okay, but it surges. And this, in my opinion, is going to be resolved by cleaning out the carburetor. And I want to show you how I go about doing that today. I'm going to take down that carburetor, and I've already removed the air cleaner, but we're going to take down this carburetor and I'm going to show you my method for cleaning it out. And don't know if it's ever been done for this machine before, but I think that will fix the surging problem as we clean out some of those small passageways and stuff in the carburetor. So first thing that we're going to have to do is, this guy has he's got a fuel shut off right here. I'm going to shut the fuel flow off. It's gravity fed from the fuel tank. And I do have a rag because we probably still will inevitably get some spillage. And what we'll do first is remove the fuel line. Now, I told you got it running the other day. I did not clean the carburetor out, but I had put on some new fuel lines and a new fuel filter, and I had dropped the bowl of the carburetor to make sure there was no gunk in there. And so I cleaned that much of it out, but it's the other jets and small passageways within the carburetor itself that I think needs to get cleaned out. Alright, so we've disconnected the fuel line. That was no big deal. Now at this point, we're going to take down this front part of the air cleaner assembly. It's two 10mm bolts, one here and one here. This one's a little easier to get to. And the other one, which you might not be able to see too well, right down in here. It's a little harder to get to because the muffler's right here as well as this heat shield. But I think we can do it in this fashion. We are going to slide our extension right up through there. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is use this shorter extension and then join it through here with the longer extension. Get our ratchet on it. There we go. And that should come down. Alright, that comes off. Dig our tools out of there. This breather hose just slides into the air cleaner housing, so slides out. And he comes out. Here's this gasket between the air cleaner and the carburetor. Carefully take that off. We'll save him. So now here's our carburetor. It's another. So we got two. We got our choke lever here, and we got our throttle lever here, and then the carburetor will slide off of these posts. We also need to disconnect. This must be some kind of breather hose or something. I'm not entirely sure what to call that. Slide that ring back. Should have brought out a slotted screwdriver. I could maybe pry that off. I'm going to grab a slotted screwdriver. Well, maybe this extension will work. Well, there we go. Just some kind of air tube. It doesn't really even go anywhere. Okay, so I'm sliding the carburetor off the posts. A little tight again because of the... We're just about there, but it's a little tight again because of the muffler. Got the one side off. There's the other. And these linkages come off a little bit easier when we're able to turn the carburetor. Okay, there's the throttle, and then the choke lever. Out. Now this bowl is still filled with fuel, so it will spill out if we turn it too much on its side, as you can already see it has been doing. So we've removed the carburetor from the engine, and now I'm gonna take it up. We'll take it up to the workbench. Let's clean some of these surfaces while I'm here. We'll take it up to the workbench, open it up, and I'll show you some ideas for how to clean it out. Okay, so we're out here in the bright sunshine on this work table that I have set up here in the yard, and we're gonna clean out this carburetor. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I can't really see much in the viewfinder of the camera because it's so bright out, but I'm going to try to carefully remove this gasket. This is the gasket between the carburetor and the cylinder head, the intake. Alright, because I want to reuse that. I haven't bought a rebuild kit, not even sure if one's available. Probably is, which might include new gaskets. But I don't, just trying to do it on the cheap and reuse the ones here. I'm going to take a little bit of sandpaper, scrape off a little bit of that gasket residue. Same on this side. I'd already taken off the air cleaner gasket. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this down with carb cleaner and clean off some of the dirt that's all over the top of it, and just kind of brush that off. I got a toothbrush here, and just kind of clean the outside before we open it up and do some of the cleaning on the inside. This can's about empty, so I'm just going to clean off the dirt, some of the dirt that's on the outside. That will make sure it doesn't contaminate the inside when we take things apart. Yes, I'm wearing gloves. I'm being a good boy. Don't want any of you to yell at me. Because yeah, this carburetor cleaner is not great for your skin. Alright, let's get out the, well, let's see what we got in here. Just getting out the last little bit out of that can. Okay, I'm not going to go nuts cleaning off some of that surface dirt on the outside. Just enough so it doesn't fall into the carburetor when we take it apart. Alright, let's take this bowl down. That's a 10mm nut here. Okay, so he's looking okay. Now, I told you I had dropped the bowl before when the carburetor was still on the machine and cleaned it out. There is still some crud down there. Now, I want to be careful about this gasket here, this bowl gasket. Again, I'm not replacing it. I didn't buy new gaskets, so I want to keep it nice. And this, in this case, it sits down in a groove, in a channel, so that's nice. All right, now we can take the float off with a pair of needle nose pliers and pull out this pin right here, if we can. If it's too hard, I won't even bother. I'll just leave it in there because the float is working okay. Here's how I test the float. You can see it's kind of level. That's all good. So when the bowl is like this and there's no gas in the bowl, this hangs down, and so the needle opens so that the gas can flow through here. So if I were to blow air through here right now, I would be able to blow it through and it would come out, and I'm going to use my mouth to do that. Yes. Okay, great. But now when I turn it upside down, the float goes down, and now when I blow through here, I should not be able to blow air through it because the needle has closed off the flow, and I cannot blow air through it. So that tells me that the needle and float are working just fine. All right, let's think about what else we want to do here. We want to take off some of these screws here and open up the jets and shoot some carburetor cleaner down into there. And yeah, I'm kind of just making this up as I go along, so I don't want to lose that. Alright, and I'm going to spray that off a little bit. Just clean a little bit of the crud off of that tip. Okay, we'll set him aside. This one here too will come off. That's a Phillips head. Aha, so now we have access to that jet right there. Now that it's out of the way, I'm going to spray that again because there's still some more crud on there. Time to open up the new jar. Now what I want to do is take a screwdriver and remove this jet. And hopefully it won't be too hard. Oh, it's not tight in there at all. It doesn't actually seem to be coming out. Maybe that guy doesn't come out. I told you I'm making this up as I go. That may very well be just a a type of vent with that cover, keeping debris out of it. All right, but I'm going to see if I can shoot anything down in there. Now I've got a variety of tools, brushes, pokers, so that we can clean out all of these little spaces where fuel and or air and or both need to flow. So that other one we took out right here. Now that's our low-speed jet, and it opens up right to there. All right, now another one that I think is important is this one that comes right up from the bowl, sucks gas up from the bowl, and that can come off, should come out with a slotted screwdriver. But this one can be tough because they can stick, but this one is coming out just fine. So that's just the first part, little guy, and then there's another, if you can see it down in there, another one. Looking for the screwdriver that's just the right size. I might not have one here. This one's just a little narrow at the tip. I'm not getting it so far. What I'm going to do is going to go find a screwdriver. It's just a little wider than this one. I have another one here, but it's too wide. That's this guy because he tapers out too wide here. So let me look around at what else I have, because a screwdriver a little bit wider than this might be what I need to get that guy out. Hold on. Okay, I found the one I want. This guy should be able to get it. Yes, indeed. So he's coming out. All right, so this is the key item that I really wanted to be able to clean out. You can see it's kind of cruddy up here at the tip. Spray this guy out. And then to use the variety of brushes and picks that I have on hand. I got a safety pin. I like to clean out every one of these little passages. And make sure that we get unobstructed fuel flow through all of them. Because I think it's when it's the fuel flow getting obstructed that causes that surging that we're trying to resolve. And of course, as I said, this is from the early 90s, so this may never have been cleaned out for all we know. And then of course I want to do the same here. It almost looks like down there there's yet another item to be removed. I'm not sure. That guy can't get down far enough. It's slotted. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out. So let's wash this up and brush it out with our tools. And you can see the brush coming up all the way through into the venturi cavity of the... So we are just going up and down with this brush. Cleaning that out. Spraying it out. And I'm just doing this same kind of cleaning in all of these spots here. Some carbon buildup on the throttle plate. Spray that down, scrub it a little bit. This throttle plate is screwed in. We could conceivably take it off. I think I really need to. Okay, so that guy's cleaned out. Here's our components, and we can put these back in. Now that we're confident that they're cleaned out well. Down to there. Then we had this little guy. I didn't actually clean him yet. I'd like to do that. Pretty small. Don't lose them. I'm going to use a safety pin. That's pretty good. And a brush, and a little spray. Now the glove's just in my way, people. Sorry, I'm taking it off. Right, we'll shoot some cleaner through there, and we will insert it once again. And carefully tighten it down. Just snug it down. It doesn't have to be tight. Yeah, okay. So we're putting it back together. That's really all we do is clean out the variety of passageways to which we have access. Okay. This is our low-speed jet. Put him back in. I want to just take it all the way down and then back it off. Full turn, maybe a turn and a half. Let's go a turn and a half. Okay. What was this again? Okay, so sits in there like that. I honestly don't know what this part is or what it serves. Put them back together. Alright, our carburetor's back together except for the bowl. Okay, I'm just going to spray it all here without spray that gasket off, and we'll put that the 10mm bolt. Alright, it's going to have to be good enough. Still got the gaskets. It's now a matter of putting it back onto the lawn tractor. Alright, so let's put the carburetor back on the machine. It's a little tight in here. Did you notice that? A little bit tight. I want to before we put the carburetor back up, I want to take some of this cleaner and just clean down in here. Okay. I see a little bit of gasket material up here. See if I can scrape that off. Even with just my fingernail. Alright, that's fine. Oh, everybody's happier when things are clean. And that includes engines, so don't mind me if I get a little obsessive. What, me obsessive? Yes, me.